Hello everyone, Super Smash 77 here, back from the video, and today I will be going over who I think, at least at the current moment, will be the 6 characters in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighter Pass Volume 2. But anyway, let's get right into it. So spoilers for those who do follow my Twitter, although that's not many of you, so there shouldn't be too many people that are spoiled beforehand, and I'm also going to be including a few honorable mentions anyway, so yeah, but for real, getting into it, right off the bat, a Xenoblade 2 character. Probably Rex Empira / Mithra, but you know, I could also see them going with someone else. I'm not going to say who just because of spoilers, even though the game is like 2 years old at this point, but you know, just in case. Yeah, I will be legitimately shocked and very, very disappointed if we don't get a Xenoblade 2 character, since to my knowledge, this is the only character Sakurai has ever gone on record and said, you know, we wanted to include them, you know, we're really sorry, but we just didn't have the time. You know, it would just be really, really weird and disappointing if they somehow still are not added to the game, even though they, you know, clearly have the opportunity. I mean, unless Nintendo gave them a list of options and for some reason they didn't list them, but I mean, I don't know why that would happen. But yeah, Xenoblade 2 character, I will be shocked if that doesn't happen. Next would be Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes. So the relationship between Suda and Nintendo is pretty good, you know. Apparently Nintendo is actually the one that wanted Suda to have No More Heroes Strikes Again on the stage for the Switch presentation way back when, in I believe, what, January 2017? And of course No More Heroes 3 is at least a timed exclusive for the Nintendo Switch. So, you know, Travis has a long history with Nintendo, with No More Heroes 1 and 2 also being on the Wii. And hopefully, you know, there'll be an HD remaster for the Switch at some point, who knows. But yeah, you know, he's just a very charismatic character. You know, I have not even played the original 2 No More Heroes game. I've only played the new one, Strikes Again. But, you know, the game is pretty average from a gameplay standpoint, but Travis is just such a great character and so well written. I just love him. He's amazing. So I really do hope he makes it into Smash. Not only because I think he'd be cool to play as, but also so No More Heroes as a series can get even more recognition. But moving along, next would be Sora. I am never going to give up on this until there are no more DLC characters. I still think Kingdom Hearts 3, along with the story so far, and Sora, you know, as a DLC character, will all come to the Switch at some point. I don't know how long it will take, but I believe it will happen at some point. And yeah, I mean, Sora is also a very highly requested character. And I just think he'd make a lot of people happy. The only thing that I could see stopping this would be Disney. But, you know, I don't know. Personally, I just don't think Disney would be against it. The real question would just be, would he actually have Disney stuff? And I think no. I think the only thing Disney related he would have is the keychain on his Keyblade that's in the shape of Mickey, and that's it. Moving along, a Koei Tecmo character. I am shocked that we don't already have one. I mean, I guess you could technically count Byleth since they did work on Three Houses, but it's just shocking they don't have a character, or a playable character rather, in the game, considering how much they've worked with Nintendo over the years. You know, on so many things, from Hyrule Warriors to Fire Emblem Warriors to, I believe they did Pokemon Conquest, to Fire Emblem Three Houses, to many more things than just that. So it's just really surprising. I think the go-to character would probably be Ryu from Ninja Gaiden, but you know, who knows, maybe they'd want to go with someone else. But yeah, I'm just shocked with how much they've worked together. They haven't actually gotten a playable character yet. Only an assist trophy and some spirits, I believe. Next up is Dante, the man everyone thought was going to get revealed yesterday, but did not show up. Now, it's kind of funny because I actually used to kind of hate Dante because of just how broken he was in Marvel Infinite / Marvel 3, but to a much lesser extent. I just didn't like him, but recently with Devil May Cry 5 coming out last March, I got into the series and I played through it from 1 to 5. I even played Devil May Cry 2, which is, it's a game, alright. And now I love Dante. I love the Devil May Cry series. And I would love for him to show up in Smash, even if it does mean he's broken. But as long as he's not the last character, you know, he can be, you know, nerfed or maybe buffed if he sucks, you know, who knows. But yeah, Dante is just such a cool character, and his moveset has so much potential because of how many weapons he's able to use. He's able to use swords, nunchucks, just a guitar. I mean, Dante would be so cool. Dante would be so cool. And lastly, a Bandai Namco character. I mean, it's kind of funny they're making the game, and yet they still only have one character in the game. My go-to would probably be a Tails character, probably being Lloyd. But I also could see Heihachi though, even though I believe there was like a report saying they tried to make him DLC for Smash 4, but they couldn't really get his moveset to work, which if you've played Tekken, you could definitely understand why. And also his Japanese voice actor recently died, so that could be another reason they might not want to include him. I guess as far as Tekken, they could include Jin or Kazuya, but I don't see that being super likely. And another choice I guess they could go with would be Nightmare / Siegfried from Soul Calibur, which I think would be really sick, but I don't know how likely that is. And yeah, those would be the 6 characters I'd pick for the Fighter Pass. And like I mentioned, I do have some honorable mentions though. Number 1 being Breath of the Wild 2 Zelda. So I find it really interesting that they chose a Breath of the Wild Mii costume as the Fighter Pass Volume 2 bonus. And I also find it kind of interesting how Sakurai once again mentioned how they, really were looking to make Zelda from Breath of the Wild playable, but then after playing the game, they saw that she really just wasn't a fighter. So I'm thinking if Breath of the Wild 2 Zelda is playable in Breath of the Wild 2, and actually fights, I think there's a good chance she might become a separate playable character. But that's only if she is playable in fights. Otherwise, I don't see it happening. And lastly, I have 2 more. The next one, I could see Monster Hunter instead of Dante, just because of how popular they are. But at the same time, I feel like Byleth kind of stole what Monster Hunter would do. Like, their moveset is very similar if you, base Byleth from Ultimate, and then compare it to Monster Hunter from Marvel Infinite. They're kind of similar in a lot of ways, so I don't know, but they are very popular, so I just thought I'd throw it out there. And lastly, I could see potentially Rayman, simply because of how much Ubisoft stuff we do have in the game, from Spirits to now more Mii costumes. I don't know, I could see it happening, but I don't think it's super likely, especially since the fact that he doesn't really have limbs, I think is still a big problem, especially for an amiibo. But you never know, just thought I'd throw it out there. But yeah, so tell me down in the comments below who you think will be the next 6 DLC characters. And I've been Super Smash 77. I'll see you in the next one. Over and out.